Welcome back to Artscape. I'm your host, Bill Harris. I'm here with Tracey Clarke. And Tracey, we have in our laps here a few of your bird paintings.
Yep.
And you have a show coming up that's going to be 20 of these, right?
It'll be 18 of the small ones, and I've got 3 or 4 pretty large bird paintings. So yeah, at FCCA.
And that's going to run the whole month.
Whole month of July.
July, right?
Yeah.
And so you're going to have, this is 2, you have 16 more of these and 2 big ones.
Right.
And that's going to be in the. Are you a member of FCCA?
I am.
Yeah. Just tell the viewers what FCCA is. Fredericksburg Center for the Creative Arts.
Right.
And
right.
what's that like?
You mean being a member there?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you actually can go in there and see art from all over the country there. I've
Right.
often gone in there and see work from Arizona, New York.
Right. They do a lot of juried shows, and then if you're a member, then you can apply to have a show in the members gallery.
And that's what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing. Right.
Right. Now you had just come to Fredericksburg area about a year ago, right? And were you looking around for like a place to maybe set up? Because you told me the story about you had called some local artists, right? And they were taking you out for coffee.
Oh yeah. The artists here have been great. They've been really supportive. So it's a really supportive community. But I've showed at FCCA before. So.
Okay, before you lived in the area.
Yeah, before I lived in the area.
Yeah. Before you'd come to Fredericksburg, were you involved in any other communities in any other areas?
No, we lived in Woodbridge, which is kind of out there.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's probably not much of an art community in
Not much.
Woodbridge.
I mean, there's Manassas, which is a little further out, but it's not much going on as far as, getting super involved.
So what do you think of the Fredericksburg art scene?
Love it. It's
Yeah,
great.
that is
It's
good.
really supportive. There's a lot of artists here,
A lot
which
of
is
artists.
great. A lot of diversity, which is great.
Yeah, but like you said, that everybody's supportive, I think, for the most part. I think there are a lot of artists, but for the most part, everybody's very helpful and supportive. And
Yeah, I think so too.
now, one of the things I was thinking of with your pieces, do you do commissions? Because I could see somebody seeing your paintings and saying, "Yeah, I'd love you to do my dog," or
Yeah, I actually just did a basset hound for someone.
You're kidding?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
How was that?
It was great.
Yeah?
It was great.
Did you put any sort of spin on it?
No, it was
Tracey Clarke spin?
straightforward portraiture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that. So we'll at the end of the show we'll have your website come up, and I guess people could contact you there.
Great.
You have any advice for young artists locally here?
I actually just took a young artist out to breakfast the other day, and there's this sort of idea that it's magical in a way, like you're just going to magically be good at it. I don't know if you experienced that, but sometimes I feel that that's the way they are. But my advice would be to practice.
Yeah.
Do a lot of bad paintings, do a lot of bad drawing, and just practice.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of students get out of school and think, well, I'll just be an artist. But, yeah. I think the 200 or 300 bad paintings I did, it made me the artist I am now.
That's right.
So.
Right.
Yeah, we all have quite a bit of that. Do you still study? Do you still study technique?
I do.
Yeah? How do you go about that?
On the internet.
Is that right?
There's a lot of good information on the internet.
Yeah.
I took a painting class a couple of years ago, which was good for me to take, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because you don't look like you need it. I mean, your technique looks pretty sound.
Well, I think it's good to be with other artists and to have critique and challenge one another, and it's good. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, you're right.
It's easy for us to kind of go off by ourselves and not do that.
Right.
Most of us don't have the opportunity to do that, so classes are good.
When people see your work, and we already talked about sort of the sadness in them, what do you want people coming away thinking or feeling when they see your work? I mean, do you want them to come away sad, or do you want them to come away with some sort of empathy? Or?
I don't know that I want them to come away with anything. Because certainly there are people that see my work and don't. I've had people say to me, "I don't get it," which is fine. Which is not a problem with. I don't know. I think pairing the images with the narrative and having them engage the narrative, I'd like them to engage that a little bit and think a little bit more than just kind of make a passing glance, and which we all tend to do with art and many other things.
And you're right, some people just won't do it. I mean, some people, they're just never going to get it. And I think going back to the young artists, I think that's one thing artists have got to get used to when they first start out is, not everybody's going to love what you do.
Right.
I got plenty of people that don't like what I do. So tell me the best part of being an artist.
Oh, wow. Well, I think especially being able to be a full-time artist, I think that's a dream, I think, for a lot of artists to be able to do it and to sell and to, You know, I mean, to me, just being able to do it every day is a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's hardly work.
Sometimes it's
Yeah.
sometimes
well,
it's
when you have deadlines and you're doing a show and things like that.
Yeah.
Any downsides? Anything, you know? Anything, I guess what I'm thinking of is the people that don't know what it's like to be an artist. There's got to be some downsides to it.
There's some downsides. I think it seems to me a lot of people sort of think, oh, you just sit around and paint all day. Well, it takes quite a bit of emotional and intellectual effort to paint one of my paintings. I mean, it really does for me. I mean, I don't want to generalize and say that I have artistic angst or anything, but there's a fair amount of kind of internal dialogue that goes on, and you know, you're constantly checking yourself and criticizing and reworking. It's problem solving, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And that can be a little draining.
Yeah.
You ever find yourself, especially after doing a show of all the birds, needing to take a break? Like say, look, I'm not going to paint.
I do.
Yeah? You got a break coming up, I guess, huh?
I do. Well, I have another show coming up.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so I've got to get back to new mythology. It'll be new mythology work.
So you're not going to have too much of a break?
No.
No. Yeah, I don't find myself you know, needing too much of a break, or if I do, it's like I really can't wait to get back to it. Besides the painting aspects of all this, do you do all your own framing and all that?
I do.
Yeah. I know that's one of the things that most artists don't enjoy doing.
Yeah, it's kind of tedious.
Yeah, it looks like you do a real nice job of it, though.
I try. I've learned through trial and error how to do it.
Yeah, I think that's what we all become. Once we decide to become an artist, I think we all become better at marketing ourselves and framing ourselves. The things you often will hear that the artists say, like, I don't want to be a framer and I don't want to market myself. But unfortunately, we have to do that. Yeah. So besides the show at FCCA, you have another show coming up in Maryland.
I have a show at the HCCA, the Howard County Center for the Arts, coming up in November, and it's a new mythology show.
Now, will you be able to show some old pieces plus some new? Yeah. That's the one thing nice about showing out of town is you can show some old work, and for them it's new.
It's new, right?
Yeah. How other places you've shown your work? Yeah.
Oh, you mean
throughout the country? Or?
In Alexandria and also in Philadelphia. I had a show in Philadelphia, which is nice.
Yeah.
And Manassas. So
is that a big part of your plan is to maybe try to show outside more of the area, or?
I don't have much of a plan when it comes to that. I don't know. That's a good question for me to think about. Yeah,
you told me a good story before about you have one of your patrons, because we always think of our patrons as rich people that just dole out the money, but you told a good story of a Marine?
Yeah, she's in the Navy, and she's a single mom, and she's bought several of my paintings, and she's really invested in original artwork. She's just really great, and so I work with her on payment plans, and I don't have any trouble doing that.
Yeah.
I want her to have a painting if she wants to have it.
Yeah.
So
that's nice if somebody, it costs, it's expensive for them, and to make payments, it really means a lot to them. So that's nice to have that.
Yeah.
Well, Tracey, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, great, thank you.
And if you have any questions or comments, my name is Bill Harris. You can reach me at billharrisart@comcast.net. Until next time, this has been Artscape.